First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai and the angelic powers that watch over the elect of Israel, and also protection and peace to the brothers putting their good foot forward and getting this truth out to the four corners of the earth. And I'm just going to share this my personal opinion on this video. And basically this video is about Jacob's trouble coming quickly, migrants flood U.S. border with Mexico. This is not my original clip. This comes from Dabu 7, I believe. And I'm just going to give my personal opinion on this. I really believe now this is supposedly supposed to be so-called Africans that are at the border of Mexico. And I believe if the word's right, they're supposed to be given some type of amnesty to come into the United States. I mean, boom, just like that. And it's just like they came out of nowhere. Just out of thin air, hundreds of African migrants getting into the United States. And as you listen to the commentary, it was said that a lot of these guys are Muslims. Not all, but some of them are Muslims. I don't know what is going on. This is very strange to me. My personal opinion and what I feel is that Africans and Hebrew Israelites, who are the so-called Negroes in America, we get confused with these Africans, and we're not African at all. And so because people don't research and understand, and Americans are so dumbed down, and going into also to the so-called Negroes, our people, we're so dumbed down as a people. If they flash a news flash about somebody doing a terrorist act, and they put one of these guys on the news who did it, everybody's going to think that some black Negro in the United States did this terrorist act. If any reason why these guys are here, which I don't know 100%, I can't say, but if I were to guess the way this thing is being done and set up, that these guys are here to act like they're us, and we'll get the blame for it, to bring in martial law and put our people in FEMA camps to have them exterminated. And especially if they don't take the RFID chip. I really believe that's these guys' purpose are here. I think what the president is supposed to be basically sworn in official as president. I think January 20th of next year. If I'm incorrect, forgive me for that. But I believe that's the deadline. And all of a sudden this happens at the border. And now also if you read in the headlines of some of these news places, they're saying that they're looking at the election and saying that Russia is to blame, and that Russia basically hacked into the accounts of the votes and kind of rigged it for Donald Trump to win. Now you've got that going, and now you've got this. So let's do the math. If I'm right, this is a setup to try to destroy Israel once and for all. But we know that our Hamashiach Yahushua is on his way. And the so-called white man knows it. And these other nations worldwide, they know it as well. So, the final showdown between Esau and Jacob is here. And I really believe these guys are just an African goon squad to make the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but especially focusing on the Negroes, because the Africans look like the so-called Negroes. We have a similarity. They'll blame us for it. And even before this, if you notice some of the terrorists that they were accusing of certain things, they started to look more and more like Negroes. They went from Arabs to starting to looking more and more like Negroes. So anybody who's open in the spirit and your pineal gland is not calcified, you can see these things. That's only if the Most High wakes you up to it. Other than that, you'll just be collateral damage in the war that's to come and hit the streets of America. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip and let you listen to Dabu 7's commentary.
Hey guys, Dabu 7, a very interesting clip here that was shared with me. I'm going to share it with you guys. The Time of Revealing had put this out and had asked for other channels out there to look into this. So I'm sharing it in hopes that We can try to get more information, but this is the scoop. He says that down here in Mexico, near the border, near Tijuana, that this flood of Africans have come in, like they're getting ready to surge into the United States because they have some sort of amnesty or pass or something of that nature. A majority of them Muslim, majority of them men, and they came out of literally nowhere, he said, and they're trying to get into the United States. So this is what he's saying. Wanted to share it with you guys. See if we get more info. Make sure to tune in. Dabu77 tonight live, 7:30 p.m. We're going to discuss this more. And here we go.
Hello again. So I have two very small channels with not much following, but this is going up in hopes that someone that does have a large following will comment on this situation. I am from the country of Mexico, and I'm from the state of Baja California. So today, something very strange happened. A couple of hundred, possibly thousands, of African migrants came out of nowhere, and they swarmed a shelter nearby. Now, these people do not speak English, they do not speak Spanish, but they are going over to the U.S. border, having been granted some sort of pass or amnesty, I'm not certain. They're all, or at least the vast majority, men of their adult age, and it seems that some of them, not all, I'm not sure, but at least some are Muslims. I don't know where they're from, and they're not saying a word. This is incredibly suspicious to me, and I think it is a very significant action, because having known the border very intimately for many years, I know that even one person crossing over from this specific border is very difficult to achieve. Now, crossing over hundreds or thousands of people is something that does not occur regularly. Not only that, this is very suspicious. This is something that is very significant. I hope this is broadcast by someone with a much wider net than I and commented on. This is fucked up, and something bad is going down. I don't know what it is. I'm just bringing it to your attention. Something is going down. This is highly irregular. So I guess I don't really have much else to say other than to tell you this is being reported by some of the news broadcasters here in the state. But I know people that are specifically from Tijuana and specifically from the area of the shelters run by like a father dude, like a priest, who are of that area, of the priest's area, a place called La Linea, and La Linea, Otay, places like that, places that are very close to the El Rio, places that are close to the border where people are used as a launching point to get into the U.S. And these people tell me that these guys, there was no announcement, there was no gradual thing, they just came out of fucking nowhere, and they're all, I don't really know what to say. This is something I thought I would never see. A swarm of Muslims entering Mexico and being granted access to the U.S. for free? What? This is going up on both of my channels with the hopes that somebody comments on this, because this is incredibly suspicious. I mean, I don't mean kind of. This is, in my lifetime, I have never seen anything like it, and I don't think I will ever see anything like it.
Let me just stop right there. Also, I want to throw this in. If you notice that these are Africans, right? And I'm going to pinpoint out the difference between Israelites and Africans. Now, you notice the police, now, granted, this is Mexico, so they're not going to operate, probably as severely as the U.S. police. But still, you have these African migrants getting ready to come to the U.S. border. You would think there would be cops all over the place, border patrol all over the place to escort these guys in. Maybe there is. I did see a building. Maybe it's full of cops. I don't know. But I guarantee you, if this was American Negroes, the Israelites, there would be helicopters, there would be armed forces, there would be a resistance, like in Standing Rock, against Israel. You ever notice whenever it's Israel, it's tanks, planes, and military vehicles. But when it's these foreigners, you don't see nothing. You don't see no military arise resistance of these Africans. And they're Muslims. I thought these guys were considered the terrorists. You see the difference?
Again, this is wrong. This would never happen, ever, for any other group. I don't know what it means. All I can tell you is they don't speak English, they don't speak Spanish, they seem to be in good health. They're almost all men, and some of them are Muslims. So make of this what you will, but something is going on.